to the 6th, y to the 7th,
I beg you ring the bell. Teach your children. Teach them how to spell.
come to my second video on indices. In the last lesson, we'd have looked at multiplication of indices. As promised, I will be looking today at division of indices. So as we go along, it becomes a little more complex. Now, remember to like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. In our last lesson, as I said, we looked at multiplication of indices. So just a brief review. X to the 4th is being multiplied by x to the 7th. In multiplication, we said once we are multiplying first, we need to identify whether or not the bases are the same. In this case, it's being x. Hence, in simplify, x to the 4th plus 7. Remember now, when we are multiplying indices with the same base, we will be adding the index or the powers. 4 plus 7 is equal to 11, and x to the 11th power. In division, which will be our focus in this lesson, it's quite the opposite of multiplication. In multiplication, we are adding the indices. In division, we are simply subtracting the indices. So for multiplication, we are adding the indices. In division, we are doing subtraction. But remember also, guys, the base must be the same. In other words, the base should be identical, being the same. M to the 7th is being divided by m to the 4th power. Remember, this same problem could have been written as m to the 7th over m to the 4th. The rule is we are to subtract the indices once we identify our bases to be the same. In this case, we are working with the base being the letter m. Therefore, m to the 7th, and we are subtracting 4, will result in m to the 2nd power. So for division, it is quite the opposite of multiplication. When we multiply, once the base are the same, we add the indices. In division, base being the same, we have to subtract the indices, as you can see in this case here. I'll go ahead and do another one here. X is being raised to the 5th, y is being raised to the 4th, and we are dividing by x to the 3rd and y to the 3rd power. Again, guys, we need to look carefully whether or not the base being the same. So we can group x with x. So x to the 5th power divided by x to the third should be divided by x to the third here, sorry. Y to the fourth divided by y to the third. Because xy means x multiplied by y. Hence, we are subtracting, because the base being the same, x being raised to the fifth, we are taking 3, y to the fourth, we are taking 3 likewise. Our final outcome will be x 5 minus 3 will give us 2. 4 minus 3 will give us y. You don't have to put 1 here, guys. This is what understood as being to the first power. So our outcome in this case would be x to the second multiplied by y. Take a look at that one. So again, in division, let me emphasize the rule. In division, all we are doing here is to subtract the indices, unlike in multiplication, we are adding the indices. So it's quite the opposite of each other. Multiplication we add, division we are subtracting. So quite the opposite of each other, guys. So take a keen look at that example here. We said the same problem could have written or been written in another way. So m to the fourth, n to the sixth over m to the second, n to the fourth. So take a look at the example on the board. This is dividing. We are going to first identify our bases. In this case, it's m and m. So we have to write in short form, in index form, it will be m to the fourth. We are subtracting these two minus the second power, n to the sixth minus 4. So bear in mind, guys, we have numerators, denominators. So simply that we are taking the index of the denominator from the index of the numerator in this given sense. Hence, m minus m to the 4 minus 2 n to the 6th power minus 4 will result. So our final outcome will be m to the second and n to the second. So again, just to emphasize, in multiplication we are to add the indices. In division we are doing the opposite. We are subtracting the index of the denominator from the index of the numerator, as we can see has been illustrated on our whiteboard. I indicated that it may be a little more complex as we go along. So I'm just going to be looking at a little more problem that might be a little more complex. M to to the third is multiplied by m to the sixth is being divided by m times m to the second. Our numerator and our denominator. Now we are performing both operations. We are doing multiplication and we are also performing division. Remember, the rule in multiplication is that we are to add the indices. So as we simplify our numerator, which is going to be m to the third plus 6. Likewise, we can simplify our denominator. So this is really m to the first plus 2. Our result here is m to the ninth over m to the third. Problem is not yet done because we are also performing division. Hence, we are to do the opposite. In this case, we are going to be subtracting the index of the denominator from the index of the numerator. Hence, m to the ninth minus 3, our final outcome will be m to the sixth power. So again, in multiplication we are adding the indices. In division we are subtracting the indices. So all we need to remember, guys, what the rules are. For multiplication, once the base are the same, we then add the indices. In division, the base being the same, we have to subtract the indices. In other words, we subtract the index of the denominator from that of the numerator. In this case, as you can see, we are using the letter m as the base. So take a good look at the example on the chalkboard. And let us try another one, guys. And while you are watching, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my videos. And most importantly, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be first in being notified when my videos are posted. X to the sixth, y to the seventh is being divided by x to the second, y to the second. So again, guys, we are performing division. The base being the same, we have to subtract the index of the denominator from that of the numerator. And here, x to the sixth, the index of the denominator being 2 minus 2, y to the seventh, we are also subtracting the index of 2. Therefore, x, 2 from 6 will leave us with 4. So x to the fourth and y to the fifth will be our final outcome. Just another one. Okay guys, so it may look a little more complex. We are doing the same, both operations here. We are doing multiplication and we are also doing division. So first, let us simplify our numerators. Should be by grouping x to the 6th times x to the 7th. Sorry guys, this should be x to the 3rd. Multiply here by y to the 6th being multiplied by y to the 4th. Next we are going to simplify our denominator. X, this is really x to the 1st times x to the 2nd multiplied by y to the 2nd times y to the 3rd. And in simple form we are going to be adding, so the numerator will be x to the 3rd plus 7 times y to the 6th plus 4 all over x to the 1st plus 2 times y to the 2nd plus 3. This case, this will give us, going to the numerator here, which will give us x, 3 plus 7 will give us 10 times 6 plus 4 will also give us 10, y to the 10th over 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 times y to the 2nd plus 3 result in so this is x to the 10th, y to the 10th as well over x to the 3rd, y to the 5th. But remember guys, we have not yet done division. Remember we say that when we are dividing, we are to subtract the index of the denominator from that of the index of the numerator. So x to the 10th, and we are going to take the index of the denominator here, minus 3, y to the 10th minus 5, our result would be x, 10 minus 3 give us 7, 10 minus 5 give us 5, so our final outcome would be x to the 7th, y to the 5th. So that would have been the end of my video on division of indices. So just to recap, when we are multiplying indices with the same base, all we need to do is to add our indices. When we are dividing index with the same base, we are doing the opposite. We are simply going to be subtracting the indices. So in division, we are subtracting the index or indices of the denominator from that of the numerator. So guys, remember this is the second lesson on indices. As we go along, it becomes a little more complex. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope you'll find my videos interesting, and I hope it will be of benefit to those who come in cognizance of with this video. Those who are watching my channel, share, like, and most importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell.